Liquid oxygen versus air oxygen. What is the difference between liquid oxygen and air oxygen? Why is liquid oxygen used in rocket while air oxygen is used for breathing? आज हामी यो दुई ग्यासहरूको तुलना गर्नेछौँ. Let's find out. What is liquid oxygen? Liquid oxygen, or LOX, is oxygen in its liquid form, stored at extremely low temperature of minus 183 degrees Celsius. It is a pale blue liquid and is highly concentrated. LOX is mainly used in rockets, industrial applications, and hospitals where high purity oxygen is needed. What is air oxygen? Air oxygen refers to the oxygen that is present in the air we breathe. Normal air contains about 21% oxygen, with the rest being nitrogen and other gases. When compressed in cylinders, air oxygen is used for medical, industrial, and welding purposes. How is liquid oxygen produced? Liquid oxygen is produced through the fractional distillation of air. In this process, air is cooled to extremely low temperature until it becomes a liquid. The liquid air is then slowly warmed up so that nitrogen evaporates first, leaving behind pure liquid oxygen. The purified liquid oxygen is stored in cryogenic tanks at minus 183 degrees Celsius. How is air oxygen produced? Air oxygen is produced by simply compressing air and storing it in cylinders. The process involves filtering and drying the air to remove impurities, compressing it to high pressure cylinder for use in hospitals, industries, and scuba diving. There's a key difference between liquid oxygen and air oxygen. As you can see, the features are storage, where liquid oxygen has to be stored in cryogenic tanks, whereas air oxygen has to be stored in high pressure cylinders. Whereas the purity goes, liquid oxygen is 99% pure oxygen, whereas air oxygen is only 21% oxygen. Whereas uses for liquid oxygen is rocket fuel, hospital and industries, whereas for air oxygen is breathing, welding, and industrial use. Production is fractional distillation, whereas compressed air. And cost for liquid is expensive to produce, whereas air oxygen it is more affordable. So which one is better? It depends on the use case. If you need oxygen for breathing, compressed air oxygen is enough. But if you need high purity oxygen for rockets or industries, liquid oxygen is the best choice. Now, you know the difference between liquid oxygen and air oxygen. Which one do you think is more useful? Comment गर्नुहोस्, like, share and subscribe for more science and engineering video.